Welcome into Gamesthetic episode 196 on Odds Light with Sparky3. Hopefully you're having a phenomenal day today, whatever day you're watching or listening to this show. I got no Zach here today, but we do have John. John, how you doing, buddy?
Hello, I'm doing all right.
One of those days?
Yeah, it's been chill today.
Yeah. He finished Arcane. So I want to get your spoiler-free thoughts on that here in a bit.
Okay.
As best as you can. So finished Arcane. Arcane is now done. They're apparently moving on to other projects. So shout out to that. I still need to watch season 2. I have not done it yet, but I am looking forward to doing so. For today's episode, we do have the Game Award nominees, which I loved your message about it. So we'll touch on that. That's great. Go through the nominees, kind of give some thoughts. We have the whole Kadokawa and Sony thing happening, which that's kind of interesting, but not from the perspective that a lot of gamers would possibly immediately think about. And then, of course, we have Black Friday going on, so I just pulled a random assortment of sales that I thought were kind of neat, not doing the normal thing I do every year, because it's honestly not the same as it was years ago where I could do that. It's very different.
Yeah. It's not like it used to be where it's like, oh, you got to wait for the ad to come out to know where you're going to go shop at. It's like, no, everything's already on sale.
Yeah, I mean, it all started on sale pretty much November 1st, and as the month has gone on, now that we're closer, we do have some better sales. But it's right. Like, the way we used to always do it on the show is I'd break down ad by ad, and I'd go through and I'd pick out the best deals, and I would tell people, hey, if you want this game, don't go here or here because this one place sells it for $3 cheaper. But it's not like that anymore. So I just picked out some random sales that I kind of liked. Then we got some other random things to talk about. John touched on S.T.A.L.K.E.R 2, so we'll touch on that as well. Make sure to check out the Patreon. We'd appreciate that down in the description below, as well as check out our two sponsors, Agent Inc. and Rogue Energy. We'll give them a shout out later. And also, we will be on a break next week for Thanksgiving. So shout out to that. We'll be back the beginning of December. And I think we can probably go ahead and say that we will be doing a Game Awards watch along, because that will be the 12th. So we'll come back on the 7th, and on the 12th, we will have a watch along. And we'll also have a show on the 14th. So shout out to that. Just looking forward to the Game Awards, I suppose.
I mean, every year it's mostly a show where we're looking to see what new stuff gets announced.
Yeah, that's kind of the gist of it. Is what's getting announced. That's what I'm here for. Is what's getting announced. I'm putting big money on Persona 6 this year. I'm feeling it. I know if Zach was here, he'd be sitting over there, probably looking at his phone and just shaking his head. But I'm putting money on Persona 6 at the Game Awards. So we'll see. No Mass Effect, I know that, but Persona 6, I'm feeling it. I am feeling it. Other than that, I have no idea what will be there. I'll be completely honest. But Game Awards, though. John's message about this just cracked me up because I hadn't seen it yet, and all John said was, "Yo, the nominees are wild."
Yeah, because I think I said like Game of the Year nominees, but I that message mostly just bit the nominees overall for everything are just wild.
There's a lot of question marks. So we're gonna go through these and shout out ones that we think got snubbed, because I personally have some opinions on a few that got snubbed. Especially one that I feel very much got snubbed, and we will get there. But let's start off with the hot topic.
You know, it's interesting because there's several in here that I think that, like, I looked at and I'm like, you probably appreciate the fact that a lot of these got nominated when they never entered my mind.
You are correct. There are a lot in there where I'm
you're picky.
It's not that I'm picky. There are just a couple things that just makes no damn sense to me. All right?
I've been the one throwing the fit about it, and I'm calling you picky.
I know.
I've relaxed my views on it.
No, there's a couple things that really just irk the crap out of me that did not get nominated. We'll get there. But let's start off with the hot topic. Game of the Year nominees. So, to no surprise, like everyone thought, Elden Ring Shadow of Erdtree is on there.
My favorite thing about did you actually watch the thing? Or
I did not watch it. No.
On the showcase when he got to Game of the Year, there was an added line that he said.
Of course there was,
because it was, and the panel of judges, which I am not a part of, selected these. He added the which I'm not a part of.
This son of a bitch. Yeah, right, Jeff. I don't buy that.
It was like I got a real chuckle out of it.
Yeah, I don't buy that. Well, so we nailed 5 of these on the head. Then you have the shocker of the bunch, which big shout out. So you got Astrobot, you got Black Myth Wukong, Final Fantasy VII Rebirth, Metaphor Refantasio, Elden Ring Shadow of Erdtree, DLC. I'm going to continue to hammer on that. And then what's the last one, John?
We got Balatro as nominated for Game of the Year.
Shout out, man.
So, you know what? Good for you.
Yeah, no, good for them, man. No, I saw, I think it was Spawnwave tweet about this, where he's just like, the most interesting thing about Balatro making Game of the Year is everyone that did not play it shit on the fact that it made Game of the Year, go download to try it, fall in love with it, and then praise it and to get other people to try to play it.
Dude, there's been so many. I've seen so many like parody shorts, or like YouTube shorts of people being like, "Man, what is this Balatro game? Why is it nominated for Game of the Year?"
Right.
And then it's like, "Yeah, I guess I'm gonna try it."
Yep.
And then you come back and they're like obsessively looking at decks of cards.
Yep.
And like playing the game. They're just like, "What happened to you, man?" It's like it's Balatro.
Yeah. By any chance, have you heard of a content creator named Danny Mata?
Maybe
You might have seen
it. It doesn't ring a bell. Off the top of my
He
head.
put up a couple of TikToks about this where he went through the nominees, and when he went through the nominees originally, he said that he didn't know what the fuck Balatro was. He's never heard of it. And then he made the follow-up. He's like, since everyone roasted me that I didn't know what it was, I'm going to sit down and play it. And he showed the clock on his computer. He's like, it's 11:57. I'm going to play this till 12:57. This game has a chance to impress me. And then the next update was he turns over to the clock. He's like, so it's now 5 o'clock and I'm still playing Balatro. I mean, I didn't think this was going to happen. Then there was another update because when he did this, it was like a Tuesday. So when, in that same clip, he went over. It's like, so it's now Thursday, and I'm still playing Balatro. I'm just like, that feels like the trend for Balatro right now.
Yeah. It's the people who got obsessed with it earlier in the year, and then the people who are like, "What is this game?" and now they are obsessed with it.
Mm-hmm. No, I've been wanting to actually check it out. I was wanting to check it out on my phone. I feel like it'd be a good game to play on the phone.
It is.
Yeah,
It would be a great one.
Yeah, no, I've been wanting to buy it because it's like $10 in the App Store. So I've been wanting to pick it up. But seeing it make Game of the Year, I mean, shout out, man.
Yeah.
That's awesome. That's so cool.
It's one of those where it's like, yeah, the big focus has been on the DLC making it into it.
Yeah.
The bigger thing is this like one man developed game that took everyone by storm, actually made it to Game of the Year.
Right.
Like nominations. That is shout out. That is like that is one of the ultimate like, it can happen.
Yeah. See, it can happen. Wasn't it just like last year, I think, when we made our predictions, someone made a prediction that a mobile game would make Game of the Year. Now, granted, I know that was you.
Yeah.
I know this didn't start as a mobile game, but hey, look, you did it, John.
I know. It's like, yeah, because I know that was at least like I mentioned that because it's happening.
Yeah.
We've gotten closer and closer every year.
Yeah, and now it's happened. A mobile game has made Game of the Year. I know it didn't start as a mobile game, but it is a mobile game, so that's pretty cool.
Right.
Shout out.
The thing is, I don't think Balatro is going to take Game of the Year.
No,
here,
no.
But in its other categories, I think it's blowing stuff out of the water.
Really? Okay. Well, okay. So for Game of the Year, is it Shadow of Erdtree in your opinion?
I'm changing my opinion.
Oh.
I'm sticking
With Black Myth?
I'm sticking with Black Myth. I'm sticking with my early year pick.
Okay.
And yes, I think there is a very good chance that Shadow of Erdtree ends up taking it. It could. There is the outside chance because Black Myth Wukong did do incredible numbers.
Yep.
It could just be people look at it and go, Elden Ring's already won. I'm going with the other game that I enjoyed.
I would like to see Astrobot or Black Myth win it. I could see Astrobot, Black Myth, or Elden Ring be the winners. I would be shocked if the other three won, personally.
I have a slightly differing opinion on that.
Okay.
In my opinion, it would be Elden Ring, Black Myth, and Astrobot's there. I think it's winning other categories.
Yeah.
What the other nominated? It's
Metaphor and Final
Metaphor
Fantasy.
and Final Fantasy.
Yeah.
Making sure I wasn't getting my game wrong there. My dark horse for game of the year this like for the past few weeks has been Metaphor.
Really? Okay. See,
It's not my type of game, but I know everybody who's played it
loves it.
just raves about it, and
Yeah.
everybody who's seen it understands why
Yeah.
everybody likes it. So it could pull in some of that casual vote.
Yeah. I don't think it'll win Game of the Year, but the very next category where the nominees are repeats of the Game of the Year nominees, I think my pick is actually Metaphor, which is Best Game Direction. I think Metaphor is going to take that one personally.
What's the
Awarded for outstanding creative vision and innovation in game direction and design. So I think with just the whole general approach of what Metaphor is about, if that categorizes for what this is kind of going for, that's why I say Metaphor. If it's simply talking about like general like gameplay mechanics and stuff, it's going to go to Baltro.
Yeah, I don't.
It's kind of a vague category.
I don't necessarily have an opinion on the category.
Yeah, that's kind of a vague one because, like, you know, I guess what I'm referring to is, like, I guess the narrative sake of it. There is a best narrative, but I think the general theming of Metaphor is why I think it's going to win best game direction. But again, if it's just strictly based on just unique gameplay mechanics, Baltro, at least, or Astrobot.
Yeah, I could more see Astrobot taking the category.
Let's see. We had the best narrative, which would be Final Fantasy VII Rebirth, Like a Dragon, Infinite Wealth, Metaphor, Hellblade 2, and Silent Hill 2. I think it's actually Hellblade or Metaphor. If I'm gonna be honest with you, I think it's gonna be one of those two. I think Hellblade could be a sneaky dark horse here.
I don't think Hellblade would take it because I think while the game is good, the shortness of the game caught people off guard.
For new players, yeah.
Well, yeah, for new players,
Yeah,
but it's one of those where it came out and it's like that was a lot of what the news was when the game came out.
Yeah.
Granted, that's probably settled by now, and people have, like, I don't personally know what a lot of the takes were. I haven't looked into it.
Mm-hmm.
I got the dark horse again. Silent Hill.
Silent Hill for best narrative. I could see that.
I'm not happy that I'm saying.
Yeah,
that.
I could see that.
I'm not. I think it's Silent Hill or potentially Final Fantasy, which I'm very unhappy about because it's two fucking remakes.
All right, what about best art direction? We got Astrobot, Wukong, Elden Ring, Metaphor, and Neva. I say Metaphor just because of the menus alone. They got a freaking New York Times article about it.
It got a New York Times article about it, but
Neva's a pretty game.
Neva's a very pretty game.
Yeah.
I almost want to go Black Myth.
See, for a knee-jerk reaction, I almost said Black Myth. I thought about it. I'm like, I don't know. Metaphor is a really pretty game.
Metaphor is a really pretty game, but Black Myth Wukong is also a really pretty game with a bunch of different environments that all look fantastic.
Right.
I would put Black Myth there.
Next up would be best score in music, which I have no opinion on these besides Metaphor, which it's Astro, Final, Silent, Stellar, and Metaphor. Well, shout out to Stellar for getting nominated.
From what I've heard, Stellar might destroy this category.
Okay. All right. I mean, I wouldn't be shocked if it did, so I guess shout out to that.
I've seen a couple people putting their nominees out or like their votes out there, and apparently Stellar Blade has an incredible score.
Best audio design: Astrobot, Call of Duty, Final Fantasy, Hellblade, and Silent Hill. I'll give me Hellblade on that one. For audio design, recognizing best in-game audio and sound design with the whole general idea of what Hellblade is, give me Hellblade.
I have no context for this category other than what were the nominees again?
Astro, Call of Duty, Final Fantasy, Hellblade, and Silent Hill.
Yeah, I don't have any frame of reference for this category.
I'm just saying Hellblade just because like the general theming of the game, like it's all like a lot of audio based stuff. So that's why I'm saying I think it could win best audio design.
You know what? Throw it or Astrobot.
There you go.
Give it a coin flip for me.
Did you look at the best performance? Did you have an opinion on the best performance this year? Because we've had some stacked lineups the past few years.
I have, like, for best performance, I have like no frame of reference here.
Yeah, like I don't either. Brianna White from Final Fantasy VII, which she voices, as her name, Aerith, I believe. I'm not sure. Aerith, thank you. Hannah Tell, which of course voices Max. So shout out to that for Life is Strange, double exposure.
Haven't played it yet. It's on my list to do.
Hey, spoiler alert. It's on sale.
I know. I looked at it earlier.
Yeah, so am I. Trust me. Then we have Humbly Gonzalez, who played Kay, the protagonist for Star Wars Outlaws. Then you have Luke Roberts, who played James, I think, for Silent Hill 2, and then Melina Jurgens, who of course plays as Shinnu in Hellblade 2. I feel like I could go to Hellblade 2 one here or Life is Strange maybe. But again, I don't have frame of reference because I have not played these 5 games yet.
I haven't played
So
them,
I don't know how great the performances are.
I haven't played it. I don't really have a frame of reference. So for me, just if I was voting on it, I would go from the voice actress of Max.
Shout out.
Just
the return of Max.
Just because like the original Life is Strange holds a very dear place to me.
Yeah, I understand. Me too. I love that damn game. That's why I'm so excited to finally play it, especially since it's on sale.
Yeah, it's like going back and playing this new one.
Yeah.
And I haven't played it yet, but that's going to be probably very emotional for me when I do.
Oh, yeah. I don't doubt it. Let's see. Next up is innovation and accessibility. You got COD, Diablo, Dragon Age, Prince of Persia, and Star Wars Outlaws. Just for what BioWare did for the stupid hair, which is not stupid, but like it's just crazy how detailed they went for it. Give me Dragon Age. Have you seen about this? That they created an entirely separate engine for the hair.
Yeah, but
it's crazy.
What's the category say it's for?
Recognizing software and or hardware that is pushing the medium forward by adding features, technology, and content to help games be played and enjoyed by an even wider audience.
I wouldn't for that feature.
I know. I'm
not giving it to him for that. I'm very much enjoying the game, but I haven't checked out the accessibility options, and usually there's usually a standout where I'm like, I notice it immediately.
Right.
Like when they have a bunch of options. I don't have a standout pick for this category either.
Yeah, I don't
Probably also because I haven't played half the games.
Games for Impact. I have not played any of these, unfortunately. Closer the Distance, Indica, Neva, Life is Strange, Hellblade, and Tales of Kinzura.
Tales of was it Kinzura?
Kinzura, yeah.
Yeah. Give me that one.
Yeah. I would probably say that one too. Best ongoing game: Destiny 2, Diablo, Final Fantasy, Fortnite, and Helldivers 2. Is it Helldivers time to win something? After the amazing start it had at the beginning of the year.
I don't think so.
What's going to win then? Is it going to be Final Fantasy?
This is the Final Fantasy category.
It is.
I mean, this is historically the Final Fantasy category. This used to be the fight between Final Fantasy and No Man's Sky, but No Man's Sky's doesn't have any updates now.
Yeah. Well, speaking of No Man's Sky, here it is in the next category. Best community support: Baldur's Gate, Final Fantasy, Fortnite, Helldivers, and No Man's Sky.
What's the bet that people just see Baldur's Gate and vote?
Well, see, I'm going to say Baldur's Gate because they added all the mod support this year.
Well, yeah, it's like they had a lot of the support there, but what I'm saying is, what's the bet that people just see Baldur's Gate and just click it?
Click, bum. I mean, I'm going to say Baldur's Gate. I think adding the mod support's pretty. I mean, that or Final Fantasy. No Man's Sky. I don't know.
I would probably go Baldur's Gate here.
Yeah. Best independent game: Animal Well, Balatro, Lorelei and the Laser Eyes, Neva, and UFO 50. This is a stacked category. I'll be honest with you.
It's a good category. Balatro should fucking sweep this.
Yeah. Let's see. Best debut indie game: Animal Well, Balatro, Manor Lords, Pacific Drive, and The Plucky Squire. Also a good category.
Great category.
This is also a damn good category.
That is a fantastic category for it.
Do you think Animal Well could take this? Balatro still? I mean, I get it. Balatro was nominated.
I think Balatro is going to take most categories besides Game of the Year.
Yeah.
Animal Well, I hope it wins one of those categories.
Yep.
Also the other nominations are fucking crazy for indie games.
Yep. Next up, best mobile game. We've got AFK Journey, Balatro, Pokemon TCG Pocket, already made it. Shout out to that. Wuthering Waves, and Zenless Zone Zero. This is normally just Hoyoverse's category to always win, but they got some competition this time.
There was
Marvel Snap.
Marvel Snap. Yeah. That was also one where it came out and got nominated very quickly.
Yeah. So this is you got some contenders here. I'm just gonna say Balatro.
Yeah. I mean, Zenless is in there. This is usually the Hoyoverse category. They always have an outside chance of winning it.
Yeah.
I think the two top 2 for this category are probably going to be Pokemon TCG Pocket and Balatro.
Yeah.
Because Pocket is fucking blown up.
True. I mean, the downloads and the amount of money for it's insane. I saw something where someone has now completed collecting every card in the current set of the game, and it took them like $1,500.
Jesus.
And like over, God, I don't even know how many packs they opened. I mean, it was I think for some reason one of 2 numbers are standing out to me, and my friend, they are drastically different numbers. It was either 1,700 or 17,000. A lot of packs. I think it was about to have been 17,000 packs. Next up, we have Best VR/AR game. We have Arizona Sunshine Remake. I didn't know that was a game to begin with, so I guess shot for getting a remake.
Yeah, I mean, I knew it was a game. I didn't know it got a remake.
Asgard's Wrath 2, Batman Arkham Shadow, Metal Hellslinger VR, and Metro Awakening. It's going to be Batman or Metro Awakening. I'm going to say Batman. Apparently Batman was really good.
I'm going to say Batman because it's the only one that I heard good stuff about.
I heard good things about Metro Awakening, but I'm going to say Batman because the people really loved it. All right, let's go to the next one. Best action game. Some good lineup here. We got Black Myth. We got COD. Cool, I guess. Helldivers 2, Stellar Blade, and Warhammer 40K Space Marine 2. Good lineup.
I think this is a fight between 2. I'll let you give your opinion first, though.
Are you going to say Space Marine and Black Myth?
Yep.
All right. I'm glad
Space Marine and Black Myth
we're on the same page.
I think are the 2 contenders here.
Yeah, I'm going to say Black Myth takes this one. Give me Black Myth.
I think Black Myth's gonna win it. I think Black Myth is gonna win it, but give me Space Marine just so they get something.
Oh yeah, so they can walk home with an award.
Yeah, I wanna see Space Marine walk away with something.
Best action adventure. We've got Astrobot, Prince of Persia: Lost Crown, Silent Hill 2, Star Wars Outlaws, and Legend of Zelda: Echoes of Wisdom.
One of these are not, or at least one of these are not like the others.
Which one would that be?
Star Wars Outlaws.
Okay, yeah. I mean, it's an adventure game.
I mean, it's an adventure game.
It's technically an action adventure game.
Yeah, but look at the rest of the category.
One
of these was like one of these was considered to be like kind of a mid game by at least players.
I'm gonna say Astrobot here. I like Astrobot here.
I'd like it. Yeah, I'd say Astrobot here. I'd like to see it take some stuff.
Next up, we got Best RPG. Dragon's Dogma 2. Finally got nominated for something. Shadow of Erdtree. Final Fantasy X Rebirth. Like a Dragon, Infinite Wealth, and Metaphor. Good category.
I'm going to say give me Like a Dragon.
Like a Dragon for Best RPG. I'm going to agree with you. Give me Like a Dragon here. That or is Elden Ring, which is going to make me mad, but whatever. All right, Best Fighting Game. Here we go. This is always a category. It's either got some great shit or some random shit. And this, overall, not bad. We got Dragon Ball Sparking Zero, Grand Blue Fantasy vs. Rising, Marvel vs. Capcom Fighting Collection Arcade Classics, Multiverses, and Tekken 8. Good category. It's going to go to Tekken 8.
Give me Tekken.
Yeah, it's going to go to Tekken, though. Good category, though. Shout out. Let's see. Best Family Game, a.k.a. the Nintendo category. And this is where I have one of my beefs. So we got Astrobot, Super Mario Party Jamboree, Legend of Zelda Echoes of Wisdom, The Plucky Squire, and you have fucking Princess Peach Showtime. And you shaft Sonic for Princess Peach Showtime. This is bullshit. That game is terrible. The fact it got nominated for anything makes me mad.
I think you think people like Sonic more than they do.
People love Sonic, John.
Okay, honestly, you put Princess Peach and you put Sonic here. Which one do you think is getting more recognition?
Sonic. Sonic's the one with the movie trilogy. Come on now.
It doesn't matter to the casual person. Princess Peach is going to be what they recognize. No. You have to be realistic.
I am.
You're really not. You were speaking as a Sonic fan. As someone who doesn't give a shit about either of them, I can tell you Princess Peach is more recognizable.
No, it's Sonic. I'm making a short about this, and you tell me if you agree or not. It's Sonic, damn it. Give me Astrobot, though.
Astrobot's winning.
Yeah, and then once again, we got 3 Nintendo titles, and Nintendo will not take on the category.
They never do, actually.
They really don't. Best Sim Strategy, Age of Mythology Retold, Frostpunk 2, Kinatsu Gama, Path of the Goddess, Manor Lords, and Unicorn Overlord. So pumped that got nominated. Let's go. Unicorn Overlord, so good.
Okay, but purely because I'm not going to say that I want a remake to win a category.
Okay.
What was the second one?
Frostpunk 2.
Give me Frostpunk 2.
Give me Age of Mythology just to spite you.
Frostpunk is actually like it's a very, very unique like fun sim game. I haven't played the second one, but if they built upon that system, then yeah, give me that.
All right, the next one is where my biggest beef is in this whole nominee list. This one has my biggest complaint. Best Sports Racing.
Oh, this category rocks.
Dude, this category is bullshit.
This category
awesome. Is stupid.
Hey,
you have F1 24, EA Sports Football Club 25, NBA 2K25, Top Spin 2K25, and WWE 2K24. Where's college football? Still the most highest selling game of the year. The game that moved consoles. What are we doing?
We're recognizing the good games.
Whoa!
Give me WWE 2K24.
Give me none of them. Give me college football 25. This list is bullshit.
College football is not going to make it on the list. It's not going to be there next year.
It needs to be.
Give me WWE.
This was the one year that college football could have made it because it was a return and it's the highest selling game of the year and it moved consoles. Next year it'll just be a game. Next year's just going to be a release.
Yeah, that's when it'll be there because the problem was there was so much hype behind it. And even you, when the game came out, like, yeah, you were like, yeah, the game's good, but you were kind of begrudging about it because it was
there were certain things that annoyed me.
It was different that you had annoyances with. I think the fact that every single player had the same annoyances that they complained about might be why it's not here.
It needs to be here.
There were too many people who had the same complaints about it that it got enough attention where it's not here.
I don't want to pick any of these.
You know out of those you'd pick WWE.
I know. Best multiplayer: Call of Duty, Helldivers, Super Mario Party Jamboree, Tekken 8, and Space Marine 2.
Shout out that Space Marine 2 made it into this category. What kind of year did we have for multiplayer games?
Where Space Marine 2 makes the list. Shout out.
This is where Helldivers takes it.
Yeah, give me Helldivers here. Also, shout out that there's been no Power World. On the debut indie, the multiplayer. Shout out to that.
I have a reason for it.
Okay.
I have a reason I can break down besides Nintendo suing them.
Okay.
It is the same reason that Grounded was not nominated for anything for a long period of time. It's their early access. They have not officially launched yet. Once they go into 1.0, they'll be nominated.
All right, that's fair. I'm sure you're going to have a hard opinion on this one. Best adaptation: Arcane, Fallout, Knuckles, Like a Dragon, and Tomb Raider.
There's one thing in this category that's called Arcane.
Yep.
No, the thing is, this is actually a really, like, it's good to see that we have a good category, but Arcane should wipe the floor with everything here.
It's a shame Borderlands isn't in here. Borderlands would come out on top.
You shut your whore mouth. You watch Borderlands and then say that.
All right, bet. Still need to watch season 2 of Arcane. I am very excited to check it out, though. I also still need to watch Knuckles. I haven't watched Knuckles yet. I haven't watched Fallout either. I haven't watched a lot of shit this year.
Guy over here trying to advocate for Sonic being in Game of the Year category. Hadn't even watched Knuckles.
Whoa, calm down.
You're supposed to be the Sonic fan.
I'm watching Sonic 3.
You ain't got time to watch Knuckles, but you can replay Mass Effect trilogy for the 30th time.
You're damn right I can.
You could have it on the other TV.
I'm focused on Mass Effect, having a good time.
You could have it on the other TV if you'll pay just as much attention to either one.
Whatever. Next up, Content Creator of the Year. There's one winner here, and to me, it's Queso. Give me Queso. I don't know the rest of these.
At least name them off. You've named everything else.
Yeah. So we have Illawan. We have Tech Ho Gamers. I kept reading that as a no. Tech Ho Gamers. Typical Gamer, and USADA Picora.
Pekra.
Pekra. Looks like Picora. All right, well, Pekra.
Yeah, I would say queso.
Yeah.
And yeah, we got the obligatory VTuber in Content Creator of the Year.
Yep.
Which, funny enough, I think they've won the past few years.
I think they have. We got Best Esports Game. Counter-Strike 2, Dota, League of Legends, Mobile Legends, Bang Bang,
we
and
are
Valorant.
into the League Wins category.
Yep.
So League Wins.
And you have Best Esports Athlete.
This is the Faker Wins category.
Yep, Faker's in there. So.
Of course, he's in there just about every year, and he wins every time. This year, in particular, he deserves the win.
Yeah.
This was an unbelievable Worlds for him.
Let's see. So the other guys we have 33. We have Alex Sib, Chovy, Faker, Zaiwu, and I'm not sure how you would pronounce his name. It's ZMJJKK. How would do you know?
I don't remember how they pronounce that.
Okay. Well, yeah, it's gonna be Faker though. So shout out. Best esports team: Bilibili Gaming, Gen G, Navi, T1, and Team Liquid.
All of the esports teams out there. We got 3 league teams.
Yep.
This is gonna be T1 though.
Yep.
Shout out to Liquid from Dota actually making it in though. I actually watched a ton of them during the international this year.
Oh, that's the end. No best esports event this year. That's normally been a category in the past.
If it was, it would be a unanimous event. I watch League Worlds most years. I tend to watch a lot of events every year, or like I try to at least watch one event from multiple different esports every year to kind of get an idea of some stuff out there. But Worlds this year, I'd say this was a top 3 Worlds,
Right.
like in history.
Mm-hmm. Well, that was all the nominees. Like I said, college football got robbed. That's bullshit. Sonic X Generations got robbed. That's bullshit. But, whatever. It's okay.
We're looking for the best games of the year.
Whoa, buddy. Was there anything that stood out to you, like something that you thought for sure would get in something and didn't?
Oh, not particularly. Kind of like most of the big games that I thought would get into a category kind of got there. But it's like some other stuff was there. Some stuff did surprise me. Like Star Wars Outlaws being in did surprise me.
Mm-hmm. That's true.
Like Dragon Age Veilguard getting in for a nomination kind of took me off guard. But then again, I don't know what its accessibility options were and stuff like that. So maybe it had more stuff than I paid attention to. But for the most part, I think all the games I thought were gonna be there were there. There were some titles that didn't, or that showed up that I wasn't necessarily expecting because I don't have context for them, and I knew them from like hearing you or somebody else talk about it, like Plucky
Right.
Squire.
Yeah.
I didn't expect to see Plucky Squire.
I'm glad it got in there. It's really fun.
Everybody's been surprised at Balatro making it into Game of the Year.
Yeah.
But I mean, as we've kind of seen now that more people have jumped in to see what it's all about, I think we could agree it deserves it. It's weird that it's in there stacked up against some juggernauts. But it just goes to show sometimes it purely is just gameplay and fun versus big budgets.
True. I think for me, the biggest thing that I was happy with all the nominees is I was happy Unicorn got something, because that kind of got lost in the shuffle. It came out alongside Dragon's Dogma. It came out alongside Rise of the Ronin, which did not reach the heights of a Dragon's Dogma, but it was still like, it had its little moment. It came out around that period. So it got kind of lost besides people that were playing it. So I'm glad it got nominated for some, because it is a really fun game.
Yeah, I guess the other thing was Dragon's Dogma got its nomination.
Yeah.
it was one where, yeah, when it came out, like it kind of took over, but it took over for a short period of time
Mhm.
because I think either people played it for a while, kind of finished with it, or kind of like me, where they like I was excited for it and played it for like 12 hours or so, and then
Mhm.
realized, this maybe it isn't for me.
Right.
So I mean, I didn't think it was going to get a nomination, but that's from my perspective of my enjoyment of the game. So I guess there were enough people, like it was liked enough out there by enough people.
Yeah. Also glad to see that the Lost Crown didn't get lost to the wayside, it being such an early January game, especially since the team had been dissolved because, it didn't meet the expectations they thought it'd hit because they were expecting Metroid Dread levels, which was set up for failure. So I'm glad Lost Crown got nominated for a few things and it didn't just get lost to the wayside because, that was such an early year release. That was like January 16th.
It was one I completely forgot about, but when I saw it in the nominations, I went, "Oh yeah, that makes sense."
Yeah, yeah. And it's also on sale for Black Friday, so I want to pick it up. I still want
Yeah.
to play it.
Uh,
Demo was a
overall,
lot of fun.
overall, I would say nominations went about as well as you could expect. There's definitely some ones you look at and go, "Wait a second."
Yeah.
But we tend to usually it's like one or two
Hmm.
in the nominations, so I think about what you could expect.
Yeah, I agree.
Weird. I did see saw a video that I had kind of had the thought in the back of my mind, and it wasn't until I heard someone else say it that I kind of had the moment where you sit back and go, wait a second, yeah, it is weird that Shadow of the Erd Tree get its own Game of the Year nomination, uh, considering Phantom Liberty didn't.
Yeah, I know. Phantom Liberty got shafted.
Because basically the same concept.
Yeah.
But I guess now that the rule has been established going forward, we'll probably see more stuff like that.
Yeah. Also, shout out to Steve in chat. Sorry, Steve, I did not see your messages because I had the web browser pulled up over here, so I could still watch, everything on this side. So I do apologize for not seeing your messages till now. Also, congratulations to you, my friend. Hopefully, father life is going well for you. The nominees are bad this year. He said Outlaws in there. I'm sorry, what? Yeah, it's in there for something. Remasters and DLC content in there makes me not even want to watch it. And he just now said Dragon's Dogma was released in the middle of all the Baldur's Gate 3 type still. Granted, the tail end of it, but it still had an uphill battle. Because wasn't that around the time where Baldur's Gate 3 got its mod support or something?
I don't remember.
I don't remember either. But I mean, obviously Baldur's
It
Gate
was early. It was beginning of the year.
Yeah, but obviously Baldur's Gate was still very much on fire at the first quarter of the year.
Yeah. One thing I'll say about remakes and that being in there, I mean, I'm like an outspoken advocate that they do not deserve to be in Game of the Year or in any nominations besides if they had a category for it. But I understand. I mean, it's been this way forever.
Yeah.
Anytime there's a good or a remake of an older game, it always ends up being nominated. We had Final Fantasy VII remake years back when it was in there. Every year since, we've had the latest in the Resident Evil remakes. Yep. They're always nominated for Game of the Year and for a couple other categories. I've kind of gotten used. I'm still going to complain about it every year.
Yeah,
but I understand it at least.
Right.
I understand that's going to keep happening, but I'm going to keep complaining about them being nominated.
I'm going to definitely complain if we get more DLCs nominated. I'm just going to keep it real.
The thing is, I don't think it's going to happen too often because
I don't
we don't get enough big DLCs. Like I tried to think back, and I'm like, what are the big ones that could have been in there? Maybe Phantom Liberty could have been if it would have been a thing. But if the rule had been established before then. Monster Hunter Iceborne could have been.
Mm-hmm.
But we don't usually get these big giant DLCs anymore.
Yeah.
We usually get smaller pack size, or they're just season updates.
I just really hate how really genuinely, because I'm with you on that, or I don't think we're going to see it. I think this just got made for Elden Ring, and that makes me so damn mad. Because the biggest thing that kind of irks me about it is that I did some more kind of little bit of research, just a little bit, not much, but a little bit just from like word of mouth and kind of doing some reading and some articles and stuff. Like when it comes to this being nominated for Game of the Year, Shadow of Erdtree, is like you have to reach a very certain point of the game before you can even really access this content and be able to do the content.
Oh, yeah.
So it's just like, again, it's like you have to play an entirely different game to even get to this thing that's nominated for Game of the Year. And I think that's horseshit.
That's the thing, because when the DLC was announced, I think it was like 20, it was either 25 or 31, somewhere in that range, percent of players had the achievement unlocked for killing the boss that you had to do to access the DLC.
Yeah.
So it was like a very low number of people had actually gone far enough into the game where they would get access to the DLC.
Yeah.
Which, I mean, granted,
that's why it makes me so damn mad this is even a thing.
Yeah. It's one where if you bought it and you didn't have access to it unless you had a character made, played through the base game, played up to a point, and killed a boss to be able to access the NPC to be able to take you there.
Mm-hmm.
So yeah, frustrating.
To your statement you said earlier, where Jeff added the little nugget of like, the jury that I am not a part of voted on this. Jeff, you need to fire the jury. This jury is crap. I'm sorry. Well, just for the Elden Ring thing, Bull Ultra getting in is cool. That's fine. But the Elden Ring thing is stupid. I don't think I'm ever going to let go of this. All right, let's shout out one of our sponsors. Shout out Rogue Energy. Use their referral link down below. Promo code SparkyTheory to get 10% off your order. But even if they have a different sale going on, that's fine. Just use their referral link, and you can still support the brand. Whether you want to pick up the hydration line, the chill line, or the energy, whether it be the powder or cans, they're all fantastic. Again, that's promo code SparkyTheory for 10% off. Use the referral link down below.
Currently, they have a BOGO on tubs going on for Black Friday.
Yeah, the second BOGO they've ever done. I'm glad they're getting to a point where they're like getting kind of big enough where they can afford to be able to do BOGOs, because normally they'd do like a BOGO 50 or something. That's the best they've ever done. But like they just started doing BOGOs in the last few months. So shout out to Rogue, man. Shout out to the growth where they're able to actually do some BOGOs and give it a shot and see how it goes. Shout out to that. Pick up some Rogue. Use the referral link down below. All right, let's touch on this. It doesn't have to be a long conversation or anything. I just thought it was kind of interesting for all the possibilities for it. And also just because, like, from a gamer perspective, like if you're strictly a gamer, I can understand why you're looking at the gaming side. But actually, there's kind of a bigger point to all this. Apparently, Kadokawa and Sony have been in talks about a possible buyout for Kadokawa for Sony. And they are the parent company for FromSoftware and S.T.A.L.K.E.R Chunsoft. And S.T.A.L.K.E.R Chunsoft is the one that, just recently did Dragon Ball Sparking Zero, for example. But they also have various animation studios as well as major light novel distributors such as Yen Press. That's one of the bigger one out there. Kadokawa is apparently the one who approached Sony about the purchase to try to prevent a hostile takeover from Kadokawa as a major stockholder. And friendly reminder on this, Sony currently owns Funimation, Crunchyroll, and Right Stuff Anime. So this deal could even just get blocked by Japan based on Sony now building a monopoly on Japanese media. And I know a lot of people want to look at this and immediately be like, oh my God, FromSoft is about to be a PlayStation Studios exclusive. And I have two things about this.
That's the big thing everybody keeps coming from this is everybody's saying, no, we don't want FromSoft to be owned by Sony.
Yes, that is the main thing that gamers are talking about. But it's like on the other side of the coin, I think if Sony's I think they're interested more on this on the anime manga side, if I'm gonna be honest with you. Because like as you can tell by owning now Funimation, Crunchyroll, and Right Stuff Anime, which I think they just got Right Stuff this year, they're really trying to dive hard in the anime and media. And like I said, Kadokawa, they own some animation publishing studios who did. Oh God, I'm drawing a blank on the anime, but it's super apparently amazing. It's the pop star one, Oshino something. You
got the wrong guy on the show.
Steve's in the chat. Steve, what is it? Oshino what? I'm drawing a blank. It's the pop star one. But they own the studio that did them. Then of course they own again Yen Press for light novels. I think Sony's more interested in that side of things. But on the other point, if this goes through and they get they now own FromSoft and S.T.A.L.K.E.R Chunsoft, I don't personally think FromSoft games will be first party. In my opinion.
Well, it's a thing of Sony probably wouldn't make them do it first party. They'd probably just let them do what they normally do.
Yeah.
It's like they might try to put a little pressure on them, but also it's from software. I could very much see them just being like, dude, just let us do our thing. It's like, yeah, you the big guy with the money now. You the guy that technically gets to tell us what to do. Just shut up and let us cook.
Yeah, we're a multiple-time Game of the Year winner. Like, come
Also,
on, leave us alone.
There's this one little thing that's in the back of my head when I do hear this that like it's that I see as like a potential silver lining that nobody says anything about. I think they're just mad, or I think everybody's just so focused on not wanting Sony to own FromSoftware, and it's the fact that there is one like FromSoftware game that is not owned by FromSoftware that everybody wants remasters of. They want a remaster or a remake or something of the damn game, but they can't do it because Sony owns it. If Sony then purchases the parent company and FromSoftware is under the Sony banner, don't you think it's more likely that Bloodborne will come out, or like a remaster or something will come out, or a PC port or something?
Yeah.
It's like that would be much more likely because then, like at FromSoftware, they could, if they're owned by Sony, they go, hey, you know that property you haven't let us touch in a decade? Can we play with it now?
Yeah. Did you see that Ben Starr made a comment about that at the Golden Joystick?
No, I haven't seen. I hadn't seen anybody say anything about it. I'm like, dude, I'm like, try to look at a potential silver lining, guys.
Yeah, when Ben Starr was up on the podium, he made a comment that it's such a. He's like, and just for the record, it's like a crime that we don't have the 60 FPS for Bloodborne yet. We need to get that fixed.
Because it's one where like top guys at FromSoftware, they're like, yeah, I mean, we can't do anything about it. We want to work. It's like we would love to update the game. We'd love to remaster it. We just can't. It's like we can't. They own it.
Yeah.
If they let us, we'd do it.
Yeah.
Well, it's like now it's like, well, if you're gonna get bought anyway, it's like, yeah, you got stuff cooking over there, but I mean, you start release a game or two, or it's like work on what you got, release something, and be like, hey, Papa Sony, we made another banger for you. Can we play with Bloodborne now?
Yeah. Well, you know, the funny thing is, this exact conversation happened with when Bethesda was bought by Xbox, and everyone immediately just looked like, can Obsidian do something with Fallout New Vegas again? Can we get a new Fallout New Vegas? That'd be cool. You know, and even Obsidian's like, yo, like, hey, we're under the same umbrella now. Can we make something happen? Yeah. That'd be cool. So it's literally the same conversation.
Yeah. Which, who knows? Maybe we'll get something from them because God knows fucking Bethesda's not going to do anything for years.
True. Bethesda's going to do their thing.
We can't get any new games from them because they're going to be making Starfield DLCs.
Yep. Facts. No, this whole conversation, though, around the Kadokawa stuff has been really interesting because it's like, again, I feel like if Sony's going to try to really push for this, which apparently Sony did already make an offer. An offer has been confirmed to be on the table. Yeah, I really think it's around the anime manga side of things.
Yeah, it's just they want that side of it, but they have to take the whole bunch.
Absolutely.
So it's like you might as well, and everybody's. I think initially there was a bunch of backlash from gamers and looking at it, not wanting FromSoftware to be under Sony, fearing that everything would go exclusive or they'd be pressured to rush deadlines and stuff. I think it's just the fact that like that's not the priority. That's just the bonus.
Yeah. Because really, I'm telling you, I really think the priority is anime manga side. I think everything else, FromSoft and everything, it's like, oh, it's just a cherry on top.
Yeah, that's a cherry on top. Yeah. It's like, well, it's like, do your thing, and if you're nice, we'll let you play with Bloodborne.
Basically, maybe you could finally get Bloodborne 60 FPS finally.
But yeah, nah, it's one where we'll just have to see what happens.
Yeah.
It's kind of like with any of these acquisitions. We've heard it. Initially, I think people thought Sony was kind of like approaching them, being like, we want you.
Yeah.
But no, it's like, turns out, no, it's the other way around.
Yeah, because they just don't want to get a hostile takeover and potentially have some other stuff kind of get shut down. Because I didn't do a lot of research on the primary stockholder for them who's trying to do the hostile takeover. But they're also big into the anime industry and everything over, whatever. And apparently not a great track record, to my understanding. They kind of run the negative on some things. So that's kind of where Kadokawa is kind of concerned, where it's just like, yeah, we don't want to get fucked. Like, I feel like if we get taken over, we're going to go down the tube, and we don't want that to happen.
Yeah.
That's kind of the gist around it. So, I don't know. We'll see what happens. Like I said, Japan's laws may prevent this from even happening because Sony would have just an ungodly monopoly on the anime industry. All right, let's shout out our sponsor, Agent Inc. You can use the referral link down below. Pick up a jersey or pick up one of our hats, and we'd appreciate the extra support. Again, use that referral link down below and pick up one of the jerseys or the hats. You can also go over to sparky3shop.com and pick up some merch there as well. Also, Steve shouted this out earlier. He said, I know it's off topic, but I'm hyped for Marvel Rivals. I enjoy Overwatch. I'm looking for this to be good. I agree, my friend. 13 days. I say it all the time, dude. I loved Overwatch 1. I love the gameplay. I love the universe and the lore. I hate what they've done with Overwatch 2. I hate what's happened to the property. But I'm hoping Marvel Rivals will fill that void for me because it looks like a lot of fun.
Are we talking about upcoming stuff now?
Yeah.
Huh? You want to get into there?
Yeah, let's talk
We're
about
a couple weeks away from Path of Exile 2 beta coming out.
Okay, now hold on. I recall earlier this year where you were just like, I don't really care, but I'm going to play it.
And you're missing part of that sentence where I said, the closer it gets, the more excited I
that's
get.
true. That's true.
No, there's been no information. They just did a big reveal. All the information's coming out for it. To gain access to the beta, I don't remember the exact date. It's in like 2 or 3 weeks. To gain access to it, it's either a $30 supporter pack where you get a key and a little bit of points to use in the shop, or if you spent, I think it's $480 lifetime on like a single storefront. So like if you, I don't know, I guess that means like if you just bought it in the game, spent at least $480, you'll get a key emailed to you.
Right.
I tried to look and see how much I've spent. I have no idea how much I've spent. I don't know if I'm getting a key or not, so I might have to buy one.
Steve said Path of Exile 2 is going to be amazing. I just don't have the time to play it. Unfortunate, my friend.
Yeah, you just don't play Marvel Rivals. It's pretty simple.
Pretty simple solution.
It's my plan. You just take one long-term game that you would play periodically away, and you insert a different one in.
There you go.
That's my plan.
Yeah. Well, he is also a new father, so he is kind of busy at the moment. But
like I said, you got limited game time.
Yeah. Swap one for the other.
Look, you play a match or two of Marvel Rivals, or you go through a few zones of Path of Exile 2.
Boom. There you go, Steve.
No, but that is coming out. They have announced that during the beta, not the full 6-act structure is going to be implemented because they stopped working on the campaign to actually develop the end game.
Yeah.
A while back, so they have the full end game, at least a good portion of it fleshed out to keep people busy. So we'll just have to replay the first 3 acts twice before we get into end game.
He said there is no limited Path of Exile way to play. I imagine it's one of those games for him because when he gets in, it's over. I get that, buddy. I get that. I get that. You know, there's certain games that once you get into, you have a hard time stopping.
Oh, I know. At the beginning of the current Path of Exile League that's going on, I was waking up early from work to play for 10 minutes before I went to work.
Oh wow, John. that's dedication. I respect that. Dude. That's been my wife recently. She's been waking up at 5 in the morning just to have some time to sit down and play on her Steam Deck. She's super addicted to My Time at Sandrock, playing it religiously. I've got at least probably, I think, 27 messages since we started the show about whatever's happening for her right now. So I respect that grind.
But yeah, I just wanted to mention Path of Exile 2 because a bunch of information just got dumped.
Yeah.
They have a full 2-hour reveal where they went through everything. And then before I came over here, I was watching over 2-hour long Q&A video where they were going in depth on some stuff.
Yeah. Like I said, I'm really excited for Marvel Rivals. You know, whenever we come back from break, that December 7th episode, I'll get to chat about it. It comes out on the 6th, that Friday. So I will be playing it that Friday, and I'm excited to... You going to play with me? You going to play that Friday?
No.
Why? Come on, man. Well, when does Path Season 2 come out? Or Path 2 come out, I mean?
I don't know.
Well, come on, you can play December 6th.
Yeah, I won't though.
John, come
Wait,
on.
at least I'll straight tell you I won't do it. And say it won't tell you maybe.
Yeah, maybe. Yeah, that's a me
I have
move.
no interest in that. It's just another hero shooter.
Come on, man. It'll be fun.
No, it won't.
Come on, man. It'll be fun.
Not happening.
Negative Nancy. Either way, I'm excited for it. Yeah, coming out here in 13 days.
Too much stuff to play right
I
now.
agree. I mean, look, I get it, dude. I get it. Especially if I hit up some of these Black Friday sales. Like if I hit up Life is Strange, then, hit up Prince of Persia. It's just add more to the list. Man, when am I going to fucking get to this shit, Yeah, I still got other stuff to do. As soon as I finish up my Mass Effect 3 run that I'm doing right now, I'm going right back to Metaphor. I've been itching for some Metaphor.
I'm in the middle of like 3 different RPGs. I just started Stalker. I got other games that I'm playing periodically here or there. I just jumped back into another old game that I was another arcadey game that I like to play every now and then.
Yeah.
God, it's a lot.
Yeah, there's a lot to play right now, man. Backlog is growing. Steve said I'll be on PS5 probably. I think it's crossplay, so whatever I play it on, I think we'll be good. So I'll hit you up. Did you want to kind of give your thoughts on Arcane Season 2, spoiler free?
I mean, if you want it as brief as possible, Arcane Season 2, it is 9 episodes long. It is, like I mentioned to you beforehand, it is, in my opinion, a perfect 3-act structure to the show. And in my personal opinion, it is a solid 10 out of 10, no notes. Perfect.
Perfection.
I absolutely loved it. I've been
down
sitting
to the
down
last
to watch
minute detail.
I've been sitting down to watch the 3 episodes that come out every Saturday, and I absolutely loved it. I am very looking forward to whatever the next show that they do is, because they are done with Arcane. They said they're moving on from it. They're going to do a show in a different part of their world. I would assume Noxus, because it would be the one that makes the most sense. There's been a lot of Noxus mentioned in season 1, season 2, just shown. Some of the characters are from Noxus that were introduced in season 1, so it would make sense if we go there next. It's one of the only other areas of the world that has been mentioned,
right?
Even in season 1. So that would be my guess.
Yeah.
But very much looking forward to whatever comes next.
He told me that he finished the 3 episodes today, and he just had to sit there and just kind of reflect.
I sat there for a while, just thinking about it. It's really good.
That's when you know that you just finished something incredible. Is when you just sit there and you just think about it and just you reflect.
You kind of got to sit there, digest it, think about it. You're like, and after a little while, you're like, okay, I guess I got to get up and do something.
Right.
I got to get up and move, or I'll be sitting here for a while.
Yeah. Avowed is the thing too. The mention of Obsidian earlier reminded me of that. Yeah, but that's February though. We got a little bit. We got a little bit longer. To wait.
There
was a lot of stuff that came out though.
A lot of stuff that came out because early play tests and stuff came out.
Really positive.
Yeah, seems positive. Makes me I've had little no opinion on Avowed because I've been waiting on it, waiting on more information to come out. Looks good.
Yeah, that's gonna be my game of February while you two play. Pirate time and Monster Hunter time. That's gonna be my one. That's how I'm gonna feel included for February to talk about games.
I mean, you can hunt monsters too.
I mean, I could, and I'm probably gonna end up doing that. Just
you won't. You said that for Monster Hunter World, and you never played it.
Well, I know, but this time I'm gonna be forced to. I don't think I'm gonna have a choice. That's the difference here. That's the difference here, my friend.
It's not gonna happen.
I think I'm gonna be forced to. I don't think it's a matter of my choice. I think it's going to happen regardless if I want to or not. Which, that's fine. I've always wanted to get into Monster Hunter. It's just I'm bad, and I've never found a weapon that's oh, yeah, that one's fun. It's I don't know. I just haven't got into it because of that. If I can get into the gameplay, I'm sure I'm going to like the game. I just haven't got into the gameplay yet. That's my issue. So, I don't know. I'll probably end up playing this one because, again, I'm going to be forced to. I'm not going to have a choice. So... you got anything else to chat about? If not, we can start going to the weekly wrap up.
Just briefly mention, I did pick up Stalker 2.
Oh,
Didn't include it as a topic. I haven't played enough to really form a much of an opinion. Played it for a couple hours, and in that time, feel like I don't know anything about the game. So still kind of figured out what's going on, doing a few quests and that, trying to get an understanding of what Stalker's all about. But been enjoying my time. There's a few performance issues with the game, but not nothing like crazy. Like you get some stuff flickering in and out.
Yeah.
Or like shaders flickering in the backgrounds. Game has a little bit of like stop to it every now and then where you kind of lose frames and that. It's not terrible, but it does have some performance issues. But it's been fun while I've been playing it.
Right.
So I will probably have to play it more before I can form much more of an opinion on it.
Right. Fair enough. It did have some pretty solid sales numbers. It already passed 1 million copies sold, and many more are playing on Game Pass. So shout out to that.
Yep.
Yeah. Shout out to Sucker too. All right, let's hit the Black Friday deals. Like I said earlier, it's not the normal thing that I always enjoyed doing where I would pinpoint like good game deals versus other competitors where it's like, oh, this one game is $4 cheaper at GameStop than it is Target. Black Friday just doesn't have the same spice to it as it used to have, but there are still some fun deals out there. So for starters, the PS5 Slim is actually on sale at almost every retailer right now. $425 for the disc, $375 for the digital. I know for Target, if you have a Target card, whether it be a Target credit card or just a red card, which is kind of just like almost like a Kroger card essentially, you can also get like the red discount as well, so it gets a little bit cheaper than that $425. So shout to that. DualSense is about 54 to 60 at most retailers, including the brand new Chroma Pearl and Chroma Indigo that just came out. The Chroma Teal that's on pre-order, that's still full price though. The Xbox controllers are about 50 to 55 at most retailers. I think you can get it maybe a little bit cheaper at some of those random special sort of deals, like a QVC deal with a new account or like a Woot or something like that. But for the most part, about $50 for a new controller. That includes like the two new, Cypher controllers that came out this year, the Ghost and the Sky, which I actually really want both of those. Life is Strange Double Exposure, usually about $40. I think you can get it 35 at a couple places too. So really good. I think Best Buy might be $35 for Life is Strange Double Exposure. That just came out. So shout out to that. Cyberpunk 2077 Ultimate Edition, $40. Good pickup there. Astrobot also on sale. $50 is the common price at most retailers, but I already just mentioned it. QVC, you can set up a new account and use some promo code, and you can get it for $40. So that's a good deal. Dragon Ball Sparking Zero for $50. I think the QVC thing applies there too. Unicorn Overlord $30. Great pickup there from a great game back in March. Stellar Blade for about $50. I think Stellar Blade might be on a QVC deal as well for $40. Alan Wake 2 Deluxe Edition. This one also has the first game, the remastered Alan Wake, as well as all the DLC. This is the physical copy for $50. Elden Ring is $20. Armored Core 6 is also $20. And this was hilarious to me. Suicide Squad Kill the Justice League, the big boy version at $100 is $5 on the Epic Games Store. Like, how about that?
Oh boy.
$5. Play the game.
Get some, might as well try to get a few bucks before that game just goes away.
Yeah. $5, baby. No, I mean, like, there was a lot of stuff on sale. Like Prince of Persia Lost Crown is on sale at most retailers. So that's a good little pickup there from earlier in the year. I think Dragon's Dogma is on some sales. Rise of the Ronin is on some sales as well. Nintendo stuff is about pretty standard. They'll knock off maybe $20 or something like that. So like Tears of the Kingdom is $50, I think, because that's a $70, Nintendo game. I think Paper Mario Thousand Year Door remake, I think that might be 40 or 50, so 10 to $20 off there, as well as some other just older Nintendo games. Their markdowns are always pretty light, maybe $10 here or there, but there are some pretty solid deals out there. Like I said, if you were kind of waiting on like Life is Strange, like me and John, now might be a pretty good time to pick it up. I think it was Best Buy has it priced at $35. So, I mean, that's not too bad, if you wanted to pick that one up. Lots of good digital sales as well. PSN store's got a lot of good stuff from what I saw. Going through it, as well as the Xbox store. A lot of good digital sales, and I'm sure Steam's got a lot of good stuff too. But I haven't personally looked into it.
Yeah, Steam's not having its big sale yet.
Okay, not yet, but overall, not too bad of sales out there. And there's also some Switch sales. If for some reason you don't have a Switch, there will be some Switch sales. But I will say the PS5 sale is not bad though. $425 for the disc, $375 for the digital. Pretty good sale there. Have you seen any sales that stood out to you? I know you don't look like I do, but
I've glanced. I've mostly been looking at Switch titles because I've been wanting to use my Switch more.
Yeah.
Nothing has stood out too much. I haven't looked too hard. I just glanced at a couple websites the other day. There's some decent sales on older Switch games, like down to like $20-$30 on some stuff.
Yeah.
Nothing I've picked up yet. I'll probably end up picking up a couple just to have ready to go on my Switch.
Right. Yeah, I think probably Life is Strange and Astrobot are two that I'm going to walk away with.
Yeah, I'll probably go ahead and pick up Life is Strange just so that I have it ready.
Yeah, ready to go. Yeah, I'm with you on that. Like I said, it's just a shame what Black Friday's become. You know, it used to be such a fun thing, and now it's just like, it's like a month-long event. It's just like, I don't really care.
It is. I will say it is convenient now.
It is convenient, yes. I don't know. I miss going out. I miss the chaos. Personally.
Last time I ever went out on a Black Friday sale, you talked me into going out with you.
Really?
And it was because we went to a Walmart or something, and I think that was back. This was years ago.
Yeah, no, this is probably 10 years ago.
This was like everybody was trying to buy Xbox Ones.
Yeah, it'd be about 10 years ago. That was last time I went out on like a Black Friday at like midnight. I think it was about 10 years ago.
Because it's like
God, that makes me feel old.
you mentioned wanting to go out for it, and you were like, "You want to go?" I'm like, "Not really." You're like, it'd be fun. And I remember like this was the moment I realized I was done with Black Friday.
Yeah.
Is one of our friends went to go stand in the Xbox line to try to get a console, and I pulled my phone out, and I went online. And I ordered the exact same bundle for the same price.
Yep.
That you could get it in store. And I just turned, I looked at you and went, I just bought the same thing. This is stupid.
So I don't think I've ever actually stood in line with a completed purchase at Black Friday. I just enjoyed going out. Just kind of seeing the mayhem, maybe finding some stuff. Because I'm like you, like when I think it was when I bought my PS4, my Wii U, the Smash bundle. I bought both those online at GameStop, but I still went out around midnight. And that was the year I almost bought a pool table that I have no idea where I would have put it, but I almost bought a pool table at Walmart. Yeah. I remember that. Didn't know where I was going to put it.
I think part of it is the going out could be fun, but also I never like it's either you get up real early and go out, or you stay up real late and go out. And even back then, when I did stay up a lot, it was usually for a purpose. I was playing something.
Right.
Going out go to a store back then did not sound fun to me.
Yeah. I'm just also glad that I'm at least glad that we're past that stupid like 3 or 4 year period where they were opening at like 4 or 6 o'clock on Thanksgiving. That's bullshit for the people involved at the store, as well as the people that want to go. That was stupid. Like, what are we doing? COVID shut that down. If COVID never would have happened, unfortunately, we'd probably still be doing it.
Yeah.
That's really unfortunate.
The other thing is part of the reason why I like that everything's on sale for most of the month and everything is because it incentivizes going out the day after Thanksgiving or like that weekend way less. Yeah. Which makes it like everybody working their lives a little bit easier.
True. Big facts. Those days after Thanksgiving, I like to actually go out, just hit a couple stores. I usually don't buy anything. I just like look around. Might find something.
I would go out like later on in the evening when stuff was still on sale, but like everything was picked clean where you could just kind of walk around normally.
Yep. That's basically what I do. So I don't know. Like I said, a few good deals out there. Make sure to check them out. Next thing I had for the weekly wrap up, Dragon Quest III HD2D sold over physical units over in Japan, making it the best-selling game of 2024 in Japan already. That is 641K on the Switch and 180K on the PS5. What a number. What a number for Dragon Quest 3.
A little surprising that it sold that many.
Yeah.
For like a remake, because I would expect, like, when the next Dragon Quest comes out, I would expect it to do that number.
Yeah.
But for a remake, like, immediately to be almost hitting 1 million, a little surprised by.
Japan loves Dragon Quest. That's for damn
I
sure.
know, but it's still one of those where it's like, man, that I would expect it to get there by like the middle of next month or something, and by the end of the year maybe hit like 2 million around Christmas time.
Yep.
They're gonna crush that.
Yep. Oh, speaking of Dragon Quest and tying into some Black Friday sales still, I think it was, I don't know if it was Video Games Plus or PNP Games. They have Dragon Quest 7 and 8 for the 3DS, I think. They have them both in stock, case and all. I think it was like $30 and $40 for both of them. So if that's something that you wanted for maybe your DS or 3DS collection, that's something else to look out as well. It's Dragon Quest 7 and 8. So shout out to that. Let's see. Next up is a report that I came across. Nintendo is preparing over 7 million Switch 2 units for launch to help with demand. That's 2.5 times the Switch 1 launch. That's great because with how successful the Switch 1 was, I expect this is going to be.
I don't think that's going to be enough.
I don't think it's going to be enough, but at least it's going to help.
It's going to help, but I don't think it's going to be enough.
Yeah.
When Nintendo announces the next Switch, everybody's going to want to buy it.
Yeah, I feel like it's going to be like a repeat of the PlayStation 5, where I kept trying to get in queues for a week straight trying to get it, and before I finally got it. Meanwhile, the Switch, literally, I didn't have it pre-ordered. I was like really broke at the time, and I was gonna have to put on a credit card at the time if I was gonna have to buy one. I remember sitting there. It was like 11:30 at night, right before it was about to come out, and I'm just like, "Fuck it, let's go to Walmart." I was like, "If it's here, it's here. It's Destiny." I just walked to that back here. It's like, "Hey, do you have any more of the blue, the red blue Switches?" And it's like, "Yeah, we got plenty." I'm like, "All right, fuck it, give me one." So it wasn't even a big deal to get one. I feel like it's not going to be the case with the Switch 2. No. I feel like it's going to be very hard
because nobody had any expectations for
Correct.
it. Now everybody has expectations.
Correct.
They're just like, I want this with more power.
Correct. So I think 7 million. I think that might be a little. I think I might be shooting the bar low. I got to be honest, but we'll see. Black Myth Wukong won Ultimate Game of the Year at the Golden Joystick. Shout out to that. I did not see the other winners for the Golden Joystick, but I was pretty pumped to see Black Myth Wukong won Game of the Year.
I went through it. It was a lot. It was basically like from the nominations.
Yeah.
What you would expect to win one in most cases.
Yeah. Koei Tecmo planning a huge expansion from 2,500 to 5,000 employees to focus on console PC games over mobile and a focus on AAA games. God, I hope this doesn't backfire. And 5 years from now, we see they have massive layoffs. Please don't let that happen. But Koei Tecmo, they do well in what they do. So that's the big plus. They do well in what they do. So hopefully they're just going to continue to do well at what they do at a bigger scale.
Yeah. The member who their target audience isn't here.
I know. And that's why I had it on the script.
But hopefully that means either more or higher quality Koei Tecmo games.
Yep. An update for the PlayStation Portal was put out for cloud streaming, allowing it to play without a PS5 console. It is now a standalone console. Now it's a standalone unit, John, that you can pick up your Portal and play a game.
It took a year.
I know. This should have been at launch. Like, what are we doing?
This should have been its own. Though it's also cloud streaming, so
I
it's
know.
not great.
No,
this should have been its own thing that you had the option to stream. This should have been a bigger Vita.
Right. It should have been. You had it all set up, dude. Just do a bigger Vita and you would have been fine.
You could have made it look the same stupid way that it does with its weird handles.
Yep.
That are the design's kind of growing on me the longer it's been.
Yeah.
But you could have just done that, make it its own native thing that you could stream your console to if you wanted to.
Yep. Instead, they just went the route that they did, but now they finally added the ability to play without a console. So, took long enough. Should have already been a thing from the start. Brand new story has been confirmed for Xenoblade Chronicles X Definitive Edition. So, you will have some new content with the game as well. So, that's really exciting. Xenoblade fans are just eating with the Switch generation, having every game on there. Limited Run and GameStop has partnered up for this holiday season, so you can possibly find some Limited Run like retro, like poured up games over at your local GameStop. Shout out to that. And Back for Blood 2. I put Back for Blood 2 is reported to be in development, which I feel like that game had a really short lifespan.
It had a lot of hype coming into it, but I think a lot of hype died off after they had like their open beta.
Yeah.
And then people played it. I know Zach played it a decent amount.
Yeah.
It fell off real hard because it was supposed to be like the successor to Left 4 Dead.
Yep.
But I think it just made people want to play Left 4 Dead.
Right. So hopefully Back for Blood 2 can really put its foot in the door and be a mainstay, because I remember it being like a pretty like, okay, it's a solid title, and then I remember like within a year it's like, all right, yeah, we're done. It died off, like they're not doing anything with it anymore. So hopefully the sequel will be different. You got anything else that you want to shout out or add to the news?
I don't think so.
All right.
I think I already kind of put everything in.
All right. Well, all that's left is Gamestetic Game of the Week, which I guess would go to you since Zach's not here.
Gamestetic Game of the Week. For this week, I'm gonna go with Tales of Xillia.
Okay.
Tales of Xillia is it's one of the many Tales games. It is on PS3. It was my entry into the Tales series. It was the first one that I bought, and I remember when I bought it and played it. It was one of the first games in a long time where I had that feeling of like, you play it for like 4 or 5 hours, you go, I need to take a break. Yeah. And then you go to do something else, and the entire time you're sitting there going, I don't care. I just want to go back and play it.
Yep.
It was my entry into the Tales series. It's a fantastic game. The kind of 3D combat, action combat that this series is kind of known for at this point. Is kind of what made me fall in love with it. I played through the game a couple times because there's 2 different characters that you can play through or play as. You pick them at the start of the game. It's like dual protagonists. You just pick which one you actually want to have be your starting character, but you can kind of swap characters in combat and that.
Yeah.
Very fun game. Very good entry to the series. Has a sequel that came out like a year or 2 later. And it's one where if you haven't played a Tales game at this point and kind of didn't know where to start, if you had a PS3 and saw it, I would highly recommend playing it. It's what made me fall in love with the series, and has made me kind of jump in and play, or kind of start hunting them down and playing them as I find them. Unfortunately, doesn't only available on PS3 right now. This is one of the mini games that I want to see a remaster for, or at least a port up. Make more games accessible on newer consoles.
And it sucks that it's only on the PS3, because like, man, that PS3 with that Cell engine or whatever it is, like, man, that thing has just caused Sony just the biggest headache in the world.
Yeah. So maybe one day it'll get a port or something.
Cell processor, that's what it was.
I keep, every time there's new like information from Sony about like, we're bringing up these older games, or we're going to port these games up, I always get excited.
Yeah.
And then disappointed.
Yep.
But yeah, Tales of Xillia, highly recommend the entire Tales franchise. This is just my entry point and a really good one to jump in on.
Shout out. Another week of Gamestetic Game of the Week in the books. I think with that said, we'll wrap the show. And like I said, no show next week for Thanksgiving. Shout out to that. Let's get the music out here.
All right, like, comment, subscribe. Anything else that Zach normally says to do. If you like what you saw with us, we usually do these live. Like I said, we're going to take a break next week, so everybody have good Thanksgiving. If you're in America, then celebrate it. If not, we'll see you in a couple weeks at about 6 p.m. Central Time on the date to be determined, but when he said
December 7th.
That one.
Yeah, shout out. Which I will be talking about Marvel Rivals, and hopefully John will too.
Nope.
Damn it. But yeah, no, Marvel Rivals on the December 7th episode. So shout out to that. And then, of course, right after that, we have the Game Awards on the 12th and an episode on the 14th. So that's going to be a good time there. Finish up the year strong. But yeah, make sure to also check out our sponsors, Rogue Energy and Agent Inc. down in the description below. Check out the Patreon. We'd definitely appreciate that. Join the Discord. Be a friend. Tell a friend. Hopefully you do have a wonderful Thanksgiving. And if you're going out to do some Black Friday shopping, Hopefully you find some great deals. There are some good ones out there, and hopefully you stay safe. Until next time, guys, have a good one. Also, shout out to Survivor Series. CM Punk is going to be awesome. Let's go.